Hey, welcome back to our episode of Biographies, where we tell you the stories of our national preachers scattered all over the world, pretty much in their own words. This time I want to tell you about a man named Wakdam Kong Yosef. Yosef would be their way of saying the biblical name Joseph. And many times around the world, when a guy gets saved out of animism, Buddhism, Islam, other religions, they'll either change their name or adopt what they would call a Christian name to go with it. So he's called Yosef, and his number is 791. He's from the country of Myanmar. It used to be called Burma, and those who are loyal to the old ways still call it Burma. He says, I was taught about Jesus by my parents in Sunday school. I'm from the Rawang tribe, and most of our people are now saved through Jesus. As a youth, I worked in the church, and after that, I attended the Putao Bible Training School in Burma. After graduating in 3 years, I became an evangelist. Now, this tribe that he's a part of was reached by some missionaries from the Christian church in the early 1900s. The story of how that happened takes place in a book called Eternity in Their Hearts, and it's an amazing story. You ought to read it if you get a chance. As a result of the Rawang tribe, well over 90% of them had accepted Christ by the early 80s when I first ran into these people. The national missionaries that first took me to the tribal groups in northern Thailand, 2 of the 3 of them were from this same tribe, the Rawang tribe. And they had their own Bible schools. They come from an area in northern Burma called Putao, where China and Burma and I believe it's Tibet come close together. You can see 3 countries from that mountaintop where this Bible school is located. He says, my training in church planting came from Makotak Peter. He's another man that we used to support many years ago. He says he's a Final Frontiers missionary. With his instruction, I have started 1 church already. Though I have helped in training other men for the ministry, there are not yet any in this new church who are ready. Now, we now have a policy that in order to support a man, he has to have already started at least 2 churches and have 2 men in the ministry that he trained. But we just changed that policy around 2010, 2011, something like that. Up until that time, it was only 1 church was required to have been started. So he met our requirement at that time. And by the way, this application that I'm reading to you from was filled out in 1993. He says, I speak the languages of the Rawang, Lisu, Kachin, and Burmese. I've started a church in Yangon. It used to be called Rangoon, which is the capital of Burma. Most of the people here speak these languages, so my ministry is not at all hindered. We are renting a house with 2 rooms that is identical to the other houses in our area. Our church, being new, is very poor, so the financial help you are extending to me will be greatly appreciated. With it, I will provide for my family's needs and have funds available for evangelism and discipleship. You will be my partner in the ministry here in Myanmar. I thank you deeply for your concern for my people. Now, we started supporting him almost immediately after we got his application because I know this guy. I've known him since he was a young man. He's old like me now. But in the time that we've been supporting him, he's led 453 people to Christ. 268 of those were baptized. He went and evangelized now 61 villages. And whereas at the beginning he said he had started 1 church, he has now started 33 churches. He's got a wife, Nangsara is her name. He's got 4 children, the youngest of which was born in 1992. One was born in April 1986, right before we started Final Frontiers. He's a great guy. If you're interested in helping to fund him a little bit or give him a love offering, when the video's over, please click on the appropriate spot on the screen and send some help his way. We'll make sure he gets it. Thanks so much. See you next time.